Hi there, welcome to Shield and Portion. This is my first Bible review and I'm so excited to start it off with the English Standard Version Gospel Transformation Study Bible. This is a newly released study Bible. They had a previous version for several years and this is the 2019 version. They have some of the same content but a lot of new added content by new contributors, and would just love to share it with you and take a look at what it looks like inside. So as you'll see here on the outside, you have the ESV logo, Gospel Transformation Study Bible, and it says Christ in all of Scripture, grace for all of life. And just as you pick it up here on the end of the book, we just have a repeating of that title, Crossway logo here on the bottom. And then on the back, just some reviews of the Bible from Tim Keller and a couple of other well-known Bible teachers. The Bible has this really beautiful ink water design in blue and white. There's no gold gilding. It's just a standard page, but ESV is launching a leather version of this Bible, which does have gold gilding and is a little bit pricier. This Bible right now on Amazon is going for around $40 or $50. It is quite hefty, as you can see, so I wouldn't necessarily make this your go around town Bible or take with you everywhere Bible. This is more of a home study Bible, I would think, but let's get right into it. So I just wanted to show you what the inside looks like without the jacket. So let me take that off. So on the inside you have pretty much the similar design, but this really beautiful white siding here, which you'll see on like a lot of classic novels. So it kind of gives you that same feel. And then on the edge here, you'll have this beautiful gold embossing of the title again, and then just the ESV logo and the Crossway logo, and the same on the back here. You only get one silk ribbon, which I wish they'd included two because it is quite a thick Bible. It is Smith sewn, so you'll see the blue and white thread right there, which corresponds with the design of the front of the cover. On the jacket, just so you can see inside, they have some text about the Bible here. There are 375,000 plus words of gospel-centered study notes written by a team of 50 plus contributors, 5 all-new articles on topics such as relationships between the Old and New Testament, the Gospel and the Old Testament, the covenants, and more. There is a concordance in the back, and there are 80,000 cross references. So let's get right into it. When you open this Bible, you have this really beautiful olivey gray opening page, just standard paper, a little bit thicker, nothing fancy there. You have a couple of intro pages and then your presentation page, marriages, births and adoptions, deaths, and then here it gets into your thinner standard paper. You have your table of contents. Then here there's quite a elaborate introduction to the Gospel Transformation Study Bible. I highly recommend reading this before getting into the Bible because it gives you a lot of background on what the Bible is actually about. And this is written by Brian Chappell, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, but he's the general editor of this Bible. Then it goes over some ways to use this Bible, so in personal study, in group Bible study, in family worship, discipleship, in preparation for teaching and preaching, and then a conclusion. And then you get a great list of all the contributors of people who contributed to this Bible. And what I love is that it outlines where each person contributed to which book they wrote for, which is really cool. And I love that Elise Fitzpatrick is included for the Book of Esther. So then here you have your preface, some features. So you have the special features, the section headings, cross-reference system, which is good to know, so you can go into depth of the cross-references, which are such a valuable tool in the Bible. So at the beginning of each book, it'll have an introduction to the book, author and date, audience, the gospel and Genesis, and then an outline, and it'll go right into the text from there. What's really awesome, which you'll see right here, is that there is so much study material. You'll have pages where there are just a few lines of scripture, but there is so much information on the study of it. I believe this is either a 9 or 10 point font, and the study material I believe is an 8-point font. It's a little bit smaller, but it's still super easy to read, and the Bible is line matched, so you won't get that much ghosting, which is really great. Here you have your cross-references in the middle. This is definitely not a note-taking Bible. There's not a lot of space for taking notes, more so for highlighting and just for studying and getting some material out of it. I'll just take you through a few pages so you can see. And then I'd like to take you to the Psalms, just so you can see what that's laid out like. So here you do have a little more space for notes if you wanted to take some notes in here. And then you have your concordance in the back, as you see here. So you have the bolded word at the top with the references at the bottom. And then for your maps, they are printed on some thicker paper, like the title pages. You have the world and the patriarchs, the Exodus from Egypt, the 12 tribes of Israel, Israel under Saul, David, and Solomon, and then just some maps of Jerusalem as well. So these are all also super helpful. So now I just quickly wanted to do a quick pen test so you guys could see what kind of bleeding there is and if there is any bleeding with a pen and a highlighter. So we will do that now. Okay, so here I have one of my favorite note-taking pens. It is a Muji pen. These are super, super thin. Let's see if this will focus. They're super thin, so let's just take some notes with this and see what happens. So if I underline, square it around, maybe an arrow. So let's see what that looks like on the next page. Oh, it's barely noticeable. I don't even know where I took the notes. Oh, right here. So you'll really see that it barely bleeds through at all. And you could use a micron, which is very similar to this as well. And then let's see what it's like to highlight. This is just your standard Bible highlighter. It has the two ends. I've got this end right here. So I'll try highlighting reverse. And then let's try the other end and underline something. There we go. Okay, let's see what that looks like on the other page. So you see some of it come through, but it barely bleeds through, just at the beginnings and ends, but barely so. So that's really great. All right, well, that's it for now for the English Standard Version Gospel Transformation Study Bible. If you have any questions about this Bible, please leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. My takeaway from this is that this is an amazing addition to your study time in the Bible. It gives you so much ability to see Jesus, not only in the New Testament, but in the Old Testament, which is where I am right now. And there are bits and pieces of this Bible where I'm thinking about it for weeks on end. So I highly recommend checking this out. There is also an ebook version if you wanted to read it on your tablet or iPad, and that way you could take it with you wherever you wanted to. But I'm super in love with this Bible, and I hope you enjoy it too. Have a nice day.